Hi, this is Rick with RKF Search Results. RKF Search Result is about helping you get more traffic to your website. So one of the things that I do is I provide WordPress for my clients for their websites. And one of the things I do is help them to do as much or as little on their own as they choose. Most of my clients have me do pretty much everything. I can instruct them on how to do stuff, but of course they want to focus on their business, and I totally get that, which is one of the reasons that guys like myself are around to put things together for my clients. Some of them do want to be able to do some stuff on their own, and that's great, and I help them with that. Help them with that. Anyway, so what I just did was I installed RKF Live Broadcasting on the server. At least I put it into a directory. If you have questions about that, you can ask later. But this is just I started doing this and I realized I probably should record the rest so that I can illustrate how things are done. Now I've already installed WordPress, and it's got a default theme on here that one of the first things it puts in. And you can see that the version I put is a little bit earlier version, and so I can hit please update now. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Please update now. So I'll update it, and then go on and hit update now, and it'll automatically update. Now also notice on the left hand side, waiting for it to update, still going. On the left hand side it shows 5 updates are available. Now right now I'm going to leave that alone because actually in this site it's a different case. So yeah, I'll go ahead and take care of that. Actually, it might take care of it already. Looks like it might have. Let's see. No, they're still there. So it's probably the updates that are here for now are for themes that come installed with WordPress to begin with, and it probably wants those to be updated. Yeah. So let me go ahead and do that. Most of these I'll probably get rid of, because you don't really need to have all the default templates. It is a good idea. Themes, templates, basically the same thing. It is a good idea to leave at least one theme there. You don't need to leave them all there. The purpose of having a default theme on here is that if you run into a problem that, in other words, let's say you're doing something on your site and you realize something's not working the way it should. Sometimes it could be a problem with the theme, and one of the ways of testing that is using a de facto standard theme that is known to be fine, and that's one of these. You'll only see 2 of them here, but by utilizing one of those as part of your troubleshooting process, if you load that theme in and your site has the problem hasn't been corrected, then it's not the theme. It's not an issue with the theme. So a little heads up on that. I'll probably delete those later, but for right now I'm going to back up what's on here now. Now I already put on here, let me show you my plugins that I've got on here. There are several plugins that you should have with your WordPress website. This Updraft Plus, highly recommended for backing up your site. Once you've backed it up, saving it to your hard drive, so if something happens with your site, either it gets hacked, which I'll help you avoid that as well, but if it does, it can happen. It's not impossible. Then you can restore it, and the more often you keep backups, the better. Basically, the rule of thumb is every time you make changes on your site, do a backup. You can always delete backups, archive backups that you're not going to need anymore. You can always delete those. I recommend keeping at least the last couple, though, because I did come across an example of one time where although it's the best backup I've ever used, I did come across an issue with it not too long ago, and there was a problem. There was a lot of images on there, and I'm not really sure why, but when I backed it up, the images didn't get archived properly, so I ran into a little bit of an issue. In any case, that being aside, I'm going to go back to I got that here, so that's installed. I also want to put on WordFence. Debating whether I should do that now. So let me go ahead and back this up now. Go to settings. When Updraft is there, sometimes you'll have lists of plugins put in here, but sometimes they end up under settings, which I know this one does, and you can't really see it because of the way that it's scrolled versus, let's see if this helps at all, but it won't matter. Just go over to settings. Yeah, there we go. And backups. So what I'm going to do, I think I've got the backups on this computer, is restore the backups. Let me see, probably not. Restore, let me see what I got here. Upload backup files, select files. I don't know if I have them on this machine. I don't think I do. and I just realized that. Okay. Anyway, so let me step past that for the time being. Let me hit cancel. And this is the idea of what your WordPress looks like from the very beginning for the most part. There's no pages here. If I go here, there won't be any pages. It'll basically default to the well, you see this is a default template theme. It's a default theme, whichever you want to call it. Template theme, basically the same idea. I'm going to pause this. No, I'll leave it alone. Generally, it's best the videos don't run more than 5 minutes. This one is. So if you can bear with me, then I just felt I'd continue with this. I'm going to do some additional, but this is the default theme, and like I mentioned before, this is the theme that's currently being used, and the other things, there's this one, there's another one over here you can't see, called 2014. These are the themes that are on here now. They're in here by default when you install WordPress, which in fact I'll want to go ahead and make a video on installing WordPress as well. But basically, you come over here, you've got your dashboard, you have your posts. This is where you add posts if you're doing your own posts. Media, this is where it has all the library of images that you load in, whether it be images or videos or whatever you use. Usually for videos, you can put them on your server, on your site, but a lot of times I embed YouTube videos, and that way it doesn't, I'm using up the YouTube's bandwidth, not the bandwidth of the site. Pages, it gives you all the pages. Comments, if somebody comments. Now, we try to prevent people from making comments only from the perspective of most of the time they're not real people. It's usually a bot going in there putting them in. So, but that's another story, which I won't necessarily get into too much, but that was more of a heads up. Here we have themes, which you already see the themes. Customize. I use a different software for doing themes, so I generally don't do much customization from the admin of WordPress. Widgets, so I'm going to go ahead and click on that, and you can see over here they got search, recent post. This is by default the widgets that are going into it. Most of these I would delete. Now the only way a sidebar is going to come up is, well, particularly this one, which would be over to the right hand side of the page, would be on the right, and generally they won't show if the theme you put in is not 2 columns. None of these will show up on there. It has to have a theme that has 2 columns at least for that to show up. If there's only 1 column, these won't show up at all, so I usually don't have to mess with those. If I do 2 columns, then I generally get rid of them, and you can't see over here. Let's see, yeah, so it does have delete, so there's a little error over here that you can't see that I did that with. Go over to menus. The purpose of menus, you really want to do custom menus on all your sites. Right now, this is brand new installed. There's not even a page on here yet, other than what you saw, sample pages, all that's here. But basically what you do is you create a menu, and